What is up, guys? So, I'm going to start out by saying this is my first walkthrough I've ever decided to try to make. And I'm doing this walkthrough, and you might notice it's called easy because I have done over 3 playthroughs of Elden Ring. I've spent over 300 hours now, probably in the game total. I basically am a walking textbook for where things are in this game by this point. And I decided that there is no guide out on YouTube that actually shows a very easy way to beat the game. Now, there are easy ways to beat the game. You could be a mage, obviously that's the easiest. But there's no easy way out there that just shows you how to be a quality build and just blow through the game really quick. The best walkthrough out there, guys, is FightinCowboy's walkthrough. If you want your platinum, go watch FightinCowboy's walkthrough for this game. You can get your platinum. This walkthrough will not get your platinum. I'm going to tell you right now, this walkthrough will not get your platinum. Use FightinCowboys for your platinum. This walkthrough I wanted to do, and I designed it mainly for those people that wanted to blow through the game really quickly to get a different ending if they've already played through a few times and they want to see a different ending, or or they're maybe missing an ending or something that they want to see. This is that walkthrough, because this walkthrough will basically break the game for you. We are going into basically the first boss being super overpowered already. There's gonna be a ton of prep. You're gonna be leveled up way more than you should be. Do not use this for your first playthrough of the game. I'm gonna tell you again. Do not use this for your first playthrough of the game. This will ruin the experience for you. Go in fresh. This is a walkthrough basically to take you through to beat the game super quick later on if you want to get a different ending. And like I said, this walkthrough is going to be fairly quick. I mean, we're going to be skipping a lot of things, skipping some bosses. We're just going to be doing the basic requirements to get to the end of the game. So I hope you guys enjoy. We're going to jump right in, and I'm going to just talk through this, and I think you guys are going to enjoy this journey. Like I said, this is the first walkthrough I've ever done. After watching FightinCowboy's walkthrough, it really inspired me to do my own walkthrough because his walkthrough is brilliant. It's fantastic. It will literally, I mean, get you your platinum. You'll get almost every item in the game. It's insane how thorough that walkthrough is, and I recommend everybody go watch that walkthrough. But for this one, like I said, this is going to be mainly getting super overpowered, OP, and just destroying to the end of the game really quick. We're going to be missing a lot of things. No, we're not getting every item. We're just going to get right into it. We're going to pick Samurai for our starting class. The reason why is because we are going to be using the Bloodhound's Fang for our main weapon, and this has the best class starting for scaling for that weapon. All this is good. I already have my character appearance. Let's see here. I already have that loaded in here, right here. And we're just going to go with that. And the keepsake, this is important, guys. Fanged Imp Ashes. We want the Fanged Imp Ashes. These are going to help us carry us through most of the game until we get the Mimic. So we want the Fanged Imp Ashes. I'm just going to name this Record. Let's see. C-O-R-N-D. All right. And we're going right into it. So, like I said, you don't have to choose Samurai. I chose Samurai because, like I said, Bloodhound's Fang is going to be the weapon we go to. You can use, like, Vagabond. That's also another good one. I chose the Samurai because I wanted a bleed weapon right off the stat, because what we're going to be doing is getting a bunch of runes at the very beginning from killing the Grey Roll Dragon, and we want a bleed weapon to be able to get to kill that dragon the fastest way possible early on in the game. So all this, run through, get your stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to be getting every item in this, but I will be getting, the necessities, so you can, like, use this later on to play with your friends and whatnot. You'll have all that. You will have a lot of stuff by the end of this. I mean, there will be a lot of things we collect because I have this set up basically so you're going to be a walking tank going through the game. So you'll have a fair amount of incantations. You'll have some dragon spells and all that. We're just going to jump off the edge here once this guy spawns in because we don't care about that. We're just going to rush to the tutorial. No need to kill something this early on. And then we are going to do the tutorial. We are going to run through the tutorial. The reason being is because we want the runes to buy the crafting kit, because that's the first thing we need to buy going into the game. So it's worth it to go through the tutorial, and it just takes a second. You get some runes, and also, I mean, if you're fairly new to, if you're fairly new to the Souls series, you know, I mean, maybe this will be good too to go through. Um, but we're just doing it for the runes. Nothing crazy here. You could also use this walkthrough too to send to your friends that wanna play the game all the way through, and maybe they aren't that good at Souls games. See the bleed proc on that? That's why we started with Samurai. Because this would be an awesome walkthrough too, just to maybe get somebody to try their hand at a Souls game. Because I know some people in my life that said, "Oh, I don't want to do a Souls game because they're ridiculously hard and everything," and maybe this will be a good walkthrough to send to them. Because, like I said, you're gonna be crazy OP going into even Margit. Even when we fight the very first boss of the game, Margit, you're gonna be going into that boss with over a +4 somber weapon. And you're gonna wreck shit. You're gonna absolutely wreck shit in this playthrough. There's no doubt about it. And it's amazing. You know, I've spent over probably 300 hours now in this game. Three complete playthroughs through this game. Got my platinum, and it blows my mind actually how quick you can actually get through this game when you don't need to do every single item or anything. Because you can really get through this game quick. I mean, it's a huge game. Don't get me wrong, absolutely massive. I mean, my first playthrough, if you want to watch it on the channel, I did a review of my first playthrough, and I took my time. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I had a 200-hour first playthrough, and I mean, it was insane. I mean, I loved every second of it. This is definitely one of the best games I've ever played. If you know me and if you've followed me for a long time, Witcher 3, you know, is my favorite game of all time, which still holds true. It still is my favorite game. But this is a close second. I mean, I am loving Elden Ring. I still am loving it after 3 playthroughs, and it even inspired me, you know, to do a walkthrough for you guys. And I'm pretty excited how this walkthrough is going to turn out because, like I said, this is my first walkthrough ever done. Why not make it a Souls series? So yeah, nothing crazy through there. Just run through all that. Like I said, I'm not going to be watching cutscenes or talking to all the NPCs. We're just going to be doing the Bane stuff to progress. We will talk to get to him I cannot think of his name. Wow. Wow. It's early, I guess, too. I have only had a cup of coffee this morning, so maybe that's why. He probably says his name here, too. We're going to talk to him, though, because we need him later on to get to a really good mid-game rune farming spot that will help us along. But nothing crazy. Once we talk to him... Once we talk to him, we're just going to go. We're going to run to the left, avoid the tree sentinel, obviously. Run straight to Ella Church. Right up through here. But like I said, you guys, if you guys want the platinum, definitely go watch Cowboy's walkthrough. I mean, his walkthrough is just so brilliant. I mean, the only reason, like I said, I'm doing a walkthrough and when there's that good of one out there, is just because Cowboys is so thorough that it goes over everything. Like, if you wanted to do a quick playthrough of the game, I mean, that's going to take, I think his walkthrough is 83 episodes. This is not going to be 83 episodes. So, talk to him, buy the crafting kit, that's all we need there. You can talk to Kale. I don't know if this matters, but we do need him for Blade, so make sure and run through his dialogue just to be safe. I haven't tested it to see if he asks you about the howling in the woods if you don't talk to him. Then make your way to Gatefront. This part is all self-explanatory, guys. I mean, this is just a normal run through to get Torrent. I'm going to kill a few guys just to have the runes. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's always good to have runes. But don't worry, I have a method in this walkthrough that you guys will have a ton of runes very early on. So there's going to be no shortage of runes. Don't worry about that. And like I said, you guys are going to be going into like the first bosses of the game, super strong. So if you're new to the Souls series, don't worry about that. You're going to blow through this game the way I have it set up for you guys. Also, these episodes will probably be, 35 to 45 minutes long. Maybe once we get going, they'll drop down to a half hour just so they're not too hard to upload on my internet. Rest at this grace, you'll get torrent. Talk to the best girl of the game.
I can play turning root to 80. You need O to the foot. Then it summon me.
We have the spectral steed.
It will torrent. Treat
All right. Once we do that, then we can apply torrent in our spot. I like putting torrent in this spot. I feel it's very natural to put them in your pouch there. Also, while we're at this, we're going to put our Spanged Imps right there and take them off of our equipment thing down here so I don't accidentally... Oh, I guess they already are. Okay, not a big deal. And then we're going to make it daytime so we don't run into bats or anything stupid like that. I feel like it goes to nighttime super quick in this game. Like I feel like that is something that just I don't know why. It's like I'll be running around the world and all of a sudden, oh, it's nighttime again. It's like what? I feel like it doesn't want to stay daytime. So here, we're not going to mess around with any of these guys. All we're going to do, pull here, get the map, go to this wall, jump off your horse, run down here. Don't worry, those guys won't follow you down there. For some reason, they somehow lose track of you and they de-aggro. I don't know how that works, but get the whetstone, get the storm stop, and then head back to... Actually, we're just going to ride out. It's not a big deal. You could actually summon your horse down here. This is something I found out later on in the game, that you can actually summon your horse down in that stairway, or any stairways for that matter like that, in the underground. Get the Aguil Lake North Grace. This is actually one of my favorite graces to do PvP with, like duels and stuff, or trades, if you want to trade with people, items. This grace right here is a very, very good grace to do that. Seems to work that you can summon almost anybody here anytime, and it's just a good grace to have. Aguil Lake North. It's a good one to know about. One of my favorite graces in the game. Alright, so after we had that, head back to the Church of Elo. Ronnie will be waiting there for us. And this will get us our Spirit Bell. She'll be right over here in this mist. Once again, it's nighttime. Imagine that. I just made it daytime.
May I have a word? A pleasure. I am the witch. I'd heard and upon looking in the talk thou art possessed to call forth the
Ronnie is definitely second best girl. I mean, maybe she's best girl. I don't know. Some people will say she's best girl. She's an awesome character.
Calling forth spirits, summon the spirits will now it is thine.
Just run through her dialogue to make her disappear. She'll disappear. She'll fade away. You can rest here, make it daytime again. Make it noon. Alright, so we got that. Now we're heading back to Gatefront. Just go right back to Gatefront. At Gatefront, we're going to ride on through. Just ride straight through. Don't worry about items. We don't need any of that stuff. Don't worry. All the items that you're going to need, we're going to get. I have everything highlighted. I've done a prep on this. I feel pretty confident about how this is going to go, guys. We got a golden seed right here. Make sure and pick that up. Wolves will fall from the sky. Don't worry about that. Jump up here. Get the grace at Rodrika's shack. Rest at the grace so the wolves de-aggro. Otherwise, the wolves will attack you when you're talking to Rodrika. Run up here. Get the stone sword key. Talk to Rodrika. Burn through her dialogue. Nothing crazy here. Now you can get the jellyfish here just if you want it. I put it on the list if you want the jellyfish summon. We're going to use the Fanged Imps because that's what we started with. They are an excellent starting out Ash to actually carry you through most of the game because of the bleed proc on them. Okay, her dialogue's done. Later on, she'll have a golden seed. You can come back here. Next up, guys, we're gonna go right up here. Put your if you're following along as you do this, just place a map marker there. We're gonna ride straight to the Stormveil shack, just to have the Stormveil shack unlocked. Like I said, I don't know if you need to talk to him for to have the Volcano Manor quest play out. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I mean, I don't think you do. I'm pretty sure that he'll be there anyway, but if not, just talk to him just to be sure. Get the grace. Don't come here at night. If you're new to this game, don't come here at night. First off, I mean, there's a boss here that will just wreck you. He sells a bunch of Ashes of War if you didn't know that. Just go through his dialogue. Alright. Then we are going to head, let's see, Jellyfish, War Master, Alexander. Alright, so we're going to head, put your map marker right down here just so you have a path to take. Actually, I'm going to put that out in the midst, actually, just to have a little bit better gauge. We want to go right out here, so just place it out there somewhere. We just want to ride this way. No items to worry about picking up through here. Just jump over these guys. Don't worry about fighting them. There's some exalted flesh right there if you want it. We're not going to really need it for this build. Like I said, this build's going to be so OP, so overpowered. You won't really need to use much extra consumables for this. Right up this little pathway on the side, you'll see Alexander. The reason we are doing this is because we want him for Radahn's fight. We want to make sure and have him there. Just hit him a couple times. He'll pop out. Burn through his dialogue. I think he gives you, yeah, he does. He gives you exalted flesh here. So, which is a pretty nice consumable. I've used it a couple times. Pretty useful in PvP, actually. So, he's heading to red main now, so that's all good now. Ride down there. Get the grace before the bridge. Ride on past little Mr. Pumpkinhead. You can get the Smithing Stone 1 if you want. We're not going to need it. We're going to use somber weapons on this playthrough. There's a merchant over there you can talk to. He really doesn't sell much of anything good, actually, so I wouldn't even bother with him. Here's D. You can talk to D. You don't have to talk to D. No matter what, he'll end up at the round table, and his quest will begin later on. But we actually will not be doing his quest line because it's not required for the end game. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of bosses that we skip over because you don't need to beat every boss in this game to actually beat the game. You really don't. It's pretty amazing how many bosses you can actually beat to actually beat the game. It's actually not that long of a game when you go through it. It's funny because most of the bosses we'll be fighting are actually for prep before we even get to the actual boss runs. So get that grace, then run through Summon Water Village. You're going to see these stairs right up here. Ride straight on through. Then you're going to see a turtle. Then you know you're in the right spot. Use that one stone sword key that we picked up at Rodriguez's shack. Go down here. Run through all the cool little turtle guys. And here we will have our first talisman. So we can apply that. Now we have stamina recovery speed. That's an excellent first talisman. Even in my very first playthrough, at the very end of the game, I was still using green turtle. I mean, it's that good of a talisman. It's awesome to have. I mean, you can't go wrong with recovery speed. I mean, it's just an awesome thing to have. So here, we do not want to go up there yet. Do not go there. Over here, now we're going to go this way. Take a hard right after there. That's where we got the green turtle. Follow this down. You're going to want to see graveyards right here. Fall right here. Come down here. And over here, pick up all the golden runes. Just ride through here real quick. You don't have to get off your horse to pick up things in this game. You can literally just ride right by them, which is very nice. I remember when I played through Red Dead, you know, and you had to always get off your horse for everything you wanted to pick up in the open world. It was like, oh my gosh. And Witcher 3 too. I mean, you had to get off your horse all the time too to pick up items. One good thing about this game is you can just ride your horse close by and you can pick up the items. After you get that, come over here. Be careful, there is a ledge here that if you drop down it will kill you. Make sure and get the right ledge. I believe it's this one right here. And then this spirit spring, take this spirit spring. You can jump down close. This right here, get that one. That will give us Sacred Blade, which is not really needed for this playthrough, but it's nice to have though if you're going to do some catacombs or get some extra stuff, because, you know, having a holy weapon, Ash of War, is very important. Kill skeletons, you know, with one hit. Third Church of America, one of the most important places in the beginning of the game. Get your physic, and also over here, Sacred Tear. Don't worry about using any of the consumables yet. We're going to be going through there in a bit. Next, after that, place your map marker down there. I'm going to take away the one we have up there, and ride right on through. Now, this woods can be very dangerous. I'm going to just say that right now. There's big bears here. They'll just wreck you, you know, if you get too close. Don't worry. Don't get too close. Don't poke the bear. You know what the saying says. Don't poke the bear. The bear will always poke back. And as you see, we aggroed a bear by accident there. Get that. Map. Amazingly, this bear will not aggro. If he'll just keep scratching the tree. Get that, and then once you get the map Mistwoods, ride over here, pick up this right here on the altar, spiked cracked tear, ride down, and you'll see this giant well thing. We're going to be coming back here later on for materials, so we do want to get in here. My first time coming through here, I remember when I rode through this woods when I first played through, and I found this well. I was like, oh, what's this? An elevator? I took it down. I was like, I wonder where this goes. I was literally blown away. I mean, this game is so massive. So massive. It's truly incredible how there's a whole underground world on top of the above ground world. I mean, I remember when I got through here, I was like, where's this thing taking me? This elevator's taking forever. And then after it goes through here, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Like, I was blown away. I was like, what? There's a whole nother world down there? Oh my gosh. It was crazy. It was It was mind-blowing. Truly incredible what FromSoft did with this game. So yeah, down here, we're not going to do anything crazy. We're literally just riding this elevator down to get the grace. That's all we're doing, just so we can come back here fast later. Sophia River, get grace, head back, Fort Height, and back to... Okay, so we got that. Toggle back, take that map marker off, head back to the third church. Another thing I love about this game, like I've played through, some of the other Souls games, and like it always sucked you could not fast travel. Like that was something I always wished that was in there. Like when you were out of combat, that you could fast travel. You didn't always have to go to a damn bonfire, because it made those games like very tricky to play when like trying to multitask things like around the house or whatnot, or because if you had something that came up to do and you were in the middle of a map, you had to like find a spot to crouch down the corner, and obviously there's no pause in the game, so you had to just find a place to pause, and or place to like crouch down in the corner, hope no enemies killed you, and then go on with your day and do other stuff. And then hopefully your character was still alive when you came back. So as we go through here, there's a few things we want to make sure that happen. We want to ride through here. We don't want to get too close to bears or anything like that. I hear a bear, and I hope that's not a rune bear. I hope it's a mini bear. We want to go through here, and we want to make sure we ride close enough to Mistwood Ruins where you'll hear a howling. You just need to hear it once. There we go. I heard the howling. That's all we needed there. So we heard the howling, then we can progress on through the woods. Just ride on through here. And then where's that? Oh, there it is. And then get this grace over here. So we got that. We got that. So we got Fort Heights. Head back to Gil Lake North. So head back to this grace right here. And then mark down here by the bridge. That's where our next place of interest is going to be. Get on your horse and head south. For this being FromSoft's first, game ever putting a horse in the game, I'm pretty amazed with how good the horse mechanics are. I mean, there's a little janky stuff, but overall the horse mechanics are awesome. I hope in a DLC they allow us to like modify our horse, like buy different equipment for it. Like Red Dead 2 had the best horse mechanics of any game I've ever played. So it's like I'm kind of comparing it to that. It'd be cool to have some more like horse mechanics in there. Right here, this chair is important, guys. Get this Somber Stone 1. We do need that for our Somber weapon. And then after that, just continue to head this way. You can actually go down here too to not aggro those guys, because there's some of those guys on the horses will be pretty difficult to fight in this early in the game. Stay out of the lake too. There's some giant crabs that spawn. And then over here, where you see this giant structure sticking out of the ground right over top of my character's head over there, we're going to want to ride over that way. Because the NPC called Yura is over here. You don't have to talk to him right now. He's going to be standing over here under this structure. His camp is right here. What we do want to do, though, is get the grace, because we will be coming back here later on. It's right past here. It's right over here. Just get that grace. And then head back east. Just ignore all those guys. And there's the grace we want to get. Get this grace right here. And then continue on. Right over this way. Follow the path. Get on the road and just follow this path. That's where we'll get our Bloodhound's Fang up there, but not yet. We're not quite there yet. We have a few things we got to do first. On this, run right straight through, stay right behind this fence, and you won't get hit by the catapult. Over here, there's a smithing stone, but it's not needed. Over here, though, the stone sword key, do pick that up. That's going to be needed. And then over here, get the grace. You can de-aggro those enemies if you want. Not a big deal if you don't. I don't think they'll follow you. Over here, you could do her quest if you want. You don't need it, though, to get to the end of the game, so you can just ignore it. Right on through here. I do like picking up this weapon. I do like, because having a Morning Star early on in the game is real nice to have. It's a good bleed weapon to have. So if you didn't start with Samurai, okay, this is important, guys. If you didn't start with Samurai, definitely pick up the Morning Star. If you started with Samurai, you don't have to, but I still recommend having it. It's nice to have another weapon that you could like put another Ash of War on if you needed to, but not a big deal if you don't. It's up to you. I like having it. Over here, one of the best merchants in the game. One of my favorite merchants. He has a lot of good stuff that I always come back to, even during mid-game and whatnot. I really like what this merchant has to offer. He has the best throwing blades in the game, which are these, Kirky. They onset blood loss, so I always like to pick up a few of those to have with me. And those are just nice to have. For me, what I like doing is I always keep, and I learned this when I first played through this game, always have knives of some sort on you, because when you're playing a boss and the boss only has a little bit of health left, and you have only a little bit of health left, throw knives. Don't even go in and try to get the final hit. You're going to die and you're going to be pissed off. Throw knives. These Kirky actually are awesome. Like, after 2 blades, throwing them in a row, they proc a blood loss, and if they've only a little bit of health left, can easily knock out an enemy. So I like putting those right there, and so then we can, from there on, remember this merchant, continue to head south. That merchant, you can always go back, and he'll always have unlimited amounts of those Kirky blades to buy, so you can always come back and buy more. Get the map for down here. Then stick to the right. You shouldn't get hit there. He shouldn't be able to hit you there. Up here, you do want to get the golden seed. Get the golden seed, and then head back to the merchant. Actually, no, don't head back to the merchant, but head toward the direction of the merchant. Then ride up this hill. So the merchant's over that way. Ride up this hill, right across from the merchant. And then follow this back into where you'll hit a village. And continue to follow it around. You're going to open up into another village. On this, just stay to the right. Drive right through here. Don't get stuck on the tree like I did. You're going to want to go stick to the right. This rock right up here, right here, we want to jump right down here. Get Flame of Frenzy. Get the Sacred Tear. And get out of there. Once you do that, find your compass and head north on the compass. Once you find the edge of the cliff, just ride the cliff around. And that will take you to the Grace. And that is where we're going to cut off the first episode, guys. On the second episode, we're going to get the rest of the materials we need down here, and we'll progress on from there. All right, guys, stay tuned for the next episode.